Hey everyone, Heather here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a tour of my entire YouTube setup. I use this setup for pre-recorded videos, live streams, and then recently I started getting back into my gaming channel over at Heather Just Play, so I also have a gameplay aspect that is incorporated. The last time I did a setup video, I believe, was in early 2021, so definitely overdue for an update. If you're new here, my name is Heather and I have been doing YouTube full-time since 2016. I started out documenting my journey in building a business, having no idea how to do that, and I thought it would be a cool thing to document. Since then, I have made two other YouTube channels. One is a tutorial channel, which is this channel that you're watching me on. This is where I post tutorials about being a content creator, just things that I've learned along the way, things I'm excited to share about. My husband, Tom, is also a YouTube creator. His channel is just his name, Tom Buck. We do have a weekly live stream podcast that we do in here, and it's hosted over on my vlog channel, Heather Just Create. But on that show, which is called The Couples Table, we talk about life and business as full-time YouTube creators. And I share all of that just to kind of give you an idea of the kinds of content that I create with this setup that I'm about to walk you through. So I feel like it can kind of be a little, I don't know, extensive, but again, it kind of has to work for all kinds of formats. Being that we have been YouTube creators for 7-8 years, this has been a constant work in progress. But the biggest upgrade, which is why I want to do this setup tour, is that this past summer we got fiber internet. So finally, my setup could handle 4K. Hopefully, this is going to be the setup for quite some time. I also have another video where I walk you through my office redesign. So this room that you're looking at also doubles as our office / co-working space. Whenever I'm not recording a video, Tom is sitting right here at the same desk. He's using one of the two monitors that I have, and this is where we get work done, edit our videos, do admin stuff, check emails, stuff like that, and play video games. So if you want to see how we redesigned the office aspect of it, I'm going to go link that video right over here. So with that said, let's go ahead and begin the tour. And of course, I'll leave links to everything that I talk about in the description of this video. All right, let me take you behind my desk and we'll start with the camera. This is the Sony ZV-E1. And it has the Sigma 24mm f1.4 lens on it. And then that has the Elgato prompter hanging off of it. And basically, I never move this camera ever. The only thing that I do is turn it off and on. One thing I forgot to mention is that one of the wires coming out of this camera is a dummy battery that plugs directly into power, which means that I can have this camera on all day, all night. I have accidentally forgotten to turn it off. But basically I can stream for hours on end. I can record videos. I never have to worry about power because the dummy battery plugs directly into power. It's on this awesome tripod, and then this all plugs into a hub underneath my desk, which I will show you in a bit. And I mentioned this earlier, we redid all of the cable management this summer. So if you want to see that video, you can check out my office redesign video. But here's what the hub looks like. Well, this is my MacBook Pro. So this is my workhorse beast of a machine that runs my entire business. Here is the hub that I use. So all of that stuff plugs into the hub, and then the hub plugs into my MacBook Pro. And then for audio, I have been using the Shure MV7 for a couple years now. I actually got this custom colored on colorware.com and I love it. It is being held up by the Elgato Wave mic arm. My microphone plugs into this beautiful Rodecaster Duo, which is a fancy audio interface. We got the Rodecaster Duo because, again, Tom and I do the Couples Table live stream podcast in here, and so we needed an interface that had multiple mic inputs, but you can do all kinds of other things with this, like audio processing and sound effects and stuff like that. And then for gaming, this is my PlayStation 5 and this is my Nintendo Switch. And basically, depending on what console I'm using, I just switch the HDMI, and then the HDMI is connected to the Elgato 4KX, which is this thing underneath the hub right here. And the reason why we're using the 4KX is because of the high speed pass through. So basically what that looks like is underneath my desk, I have an HDMI switcher right here. And so I can change the input that is being sent to this monitor right here. So when I'm playing games, I push the button underneath my desk. It's gonna change to my PlayStation. So when I'm playing the game, I'm looking at this screen, but the stream monitor is on the prompter. And then here is where my notes are. Ecamm is, which is the program that I use. It's like a program like OBS, which I'll go over in a bit. And this is where all the comments pop up and stuff like that. So this is what I look at when I am streaming. Now the capture card that I use for the camera is just the Elgato Cam Link. But again, we couldn't use the Cam Link for the PlayStation because it doesn't have the pass through. So in order to use the Cam Link, you could use the Cam Link, right? But you would basically have to play, I would have to play through Ecamm, and there's gonna be a lag, which is like when you're like in the middle of trying to defeat enemies or like play Tetris or something like that, you can't have the lag. And then there's my Stream Deck, which is super handy dandy. I'm going to change it to what it looks like when I'm streaming. So I moved the monitor, the Ecamm window to this monitor so you can see it. But I just want to show you what it looks like when I'm changing scenes. So let me try to make it so it's in the same shot. So here's my intro screen. I just push the button here on my Stream Deck, and then I've got the full wide shot here. And then when I'm playing games, this is what it looks like. So you can see the PlayStation input is there. Now, if I were using the Cam Link, this is how I would play. I would have to look at the Ecamm monitor, right? Instead of looking at this, which would be connected directly to the PlayStation so that there's no lag. And that's what the 4KX allows me to do. So anyway, back to the scenes. And then if I, if I push this button, I switch to my outro. Bye everybody. And then for now, I'll switch back to my wide shot. And then for lights, my main key light is actually now mounted to the ceiling. This is the Falconize light. Again, I'll have links to everything in the description. I also have this ring light, and I don't really like how this ring light looks, so it's probably gonna be, I'm probably gonna replace that with something else. But I do love this ring light though, because it is the very first light that I got back in 2016 when I was like admitting to myself that I wanted to commit to doing YouTube. So it kind of has a, I don't know, sentimental factor, which is why I like having it. And then for my hair light, it's actually on top of this shelf right over here. And the lights are actually connected to this remote. So all I have to do is like push this, push that, and everything turns off. We're back into office mode, or I could just turn this on and boom, I'm ready to record or stream. For sound, I'm just using this Bluetooth speaker. So this is what I hear the game audio from. I don't really have it on too loud, and my Shure MV7 is an awesome microphone, so I'm not really worried about like audio feedback. I don't want to wear headphones just because, I don't know, I don't want to wear headphones unless I have to. When I'm editing my videos though, I do use these. These are the Rode NT100s, I believe, and these are great headphones for editing videos, but they're also like huge and heavy, so I don't want to wear headphones while I'm playing games. And then over here is where I keep my green screen. I use my green screen often for when I'm doing gameplay or screen share tutorials. And then here is the back, I guess my YouTube background. This is really just Benny's couch. Benny hangs out on here a lot. I have a couple lights back here, just really for like accent lighting or aesthetic lighting. So this is the Nanlite Pavo tube, which is facing that way. And these are RGB and have all kinds of brightness and temperature and stuff like that. So you can set it to whatever. Here I have a lamp that has a Govee light bulb on it. Again, RGB, so I can change that to whatever. This wall is actually a white wall, but because of that, it looks purplish pink. And then I have this floodlight back here, another Nanlite Pavo tube back there. This wall is actually painted purple, so I know you probably can't tell, or here, this is perfect. So it kind of looks blue, I think. That's what you're probably gonna see, but it's purple in person. So the color changes depending on the light that is like being reflected up on it. So this light is also a Govee light right here. And then back here, I have another floodlight. So I think just having the different lights kind of make the background look a little dynamic, which I really like. So this is what Ecamm looks like. You are seeing my entire left monitor, and I'm gonna look over at the monitor so I can kind of like show you what the windows look like. Another thing I forgot to mention is that because I've been using Ecamm and I have my camera connected directly to my laptop through the Elgato Cam Link, I don't have to use memory cards. I can't even remember the last time I used memory cards. I record directly to my laptop. And no matter what it is I'm doing, anything that has to do with turning on this camera, I use Ecamm. So whether that's Zoom calls, live streaming, or pre-recorded videos. Usually I have this window that you're seeing me on the prompter, which is why the prompter is so nifty, right? But over here, we've got all the camera effects and how I can customize what the video looks like, all my overlays. So here's where the comments pop up. And then this is where I can pop up comments on the stream right there. So, you can add all kinds of overlays and videos and photos and all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is why I've been using Ecamm for years and years, because it's so easy to customize. Now, there is one other program that I want to show that kind of is essential to my whole setup, which is loopback, right? So basically, I have my audio coming from the PlayStation 5 or the Nintendo Switch going into loopback right here. So it basically pulls the audio from the 4KX, the Elgato 4KX, and then that's where I can have it come out through my Bluetooth speaker. So I think any content creator knows figuring out audio is super tricky because you're trying to get the audio from your microphone, audio from your system, your computer, from your browser, or from your gameplay, and trying to avoid echo and feedback and all of that is tricky. So loopback allows me to kind of control individual things and pick where programs or audio from certain programs are going to. So sometimes if I'm editing, I have my Final Cut Pro go to my headphones, but sometimes I edit while I'm playing games. I like to multitask. So I'll have like my Final Fantasy 14 audio go through my Bluetooth speakers just as like the ambient noise, and then I'll edit my podcasts with my headphones. So Loopback allows me to do that. So I hope you enjoyed that tour. I'm so excited about where my setup is at. It has been a work in progress. Like I said, we've tried all different kinds of tools and configurations and just all kinds of things, but I think that we have dialed it into exactly where it needs to be for where I am in my journey as a YouTube creator. So again, I hope you found that helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.